I am the CEO of ST Care. I take care of Spain. I lead the team for Spain and now Portugal and France. And I will be your host tonight, presenting all what we're going to do today. So, funny thing is, 5 years ago at the ESCRS in Paris, I had a meeting with my friend Matt Connolly, who you will know later. My friend Matt, and I presented him the idea of taking a powerful industrial company with very strong R&D and very strong resources and technology, together with our commercial insights and our idea of how IOLs should be commercialized in the modern era. Now we have a lot of competition. Now it's not only 2-3 players. Now it's much more difficult, and therefore having being a regular distributor will not work anymore. What we needed is to have an industrial company, to have a manufacturer, strong manufacturer, crazy enough to partner with us and start this venture. Ironically, we turned 5 years and we celebrate this in Spain, which is the place, the country where everything started. In these 5 years, we have grown from 4 people to 29 only in Spain, but many more in the organization. We have launched monofocal IOL, the first biospheric IOL in the world. We have launched trifocal IOL. We have launched an EDOF IOL. We have launched the toric versions. And the best thing about it is that it's still a lot more to come. So I am really glad to share this with you. I want to thank, first of all, the customers. A lot of you are here today. A lot of you stepped in and gave us an opportunity when it was difficult to knock on the doors and to start implanting a lens in your patient's eyes without a little more than the confidence in the people showing it to you. So that is really important to us, and we want to thank all of you for that. Also, we want to thank our partners. Some of them are here that has helped us with other products, have helped us with other technologies to help and grow. Right now, in 5 years, we are around, only in Spain, around 30,000 lenses, which is over 5-6% of the market share, which I think is quite an accomplishment. And it couldn't be possible without you. It couldn't be possible without the teams in the US, the team in Taiwan, and the other teams. So I'm going to be your host tonight. I'm going to give now the word to Matt Connolly, which is the Vice President of Business Development. And he's going to show you what our company is, because what you see from our company is a very, very little piece. And we want you to know exactly who you're dealing with, exactly who you're working with, exactly how confident you can be about partnering with us for the health of your patients. So, yeah, come in. And we're gonna have, Matt's gonna help us this, then we're gonna have a panel with a very light panel, of doctors talking about how our technology has impacted their practice and the life of their patients. Then William and Alex are gonna present you some news and gonna give you an overview on what is yet to come. And then we're gonna have a cocktail for everyone. So thank you very much for coming and talking to you.
I'm going to go over the corporate overview of AST. A lot of people here don't know us completely.
Matt, you can speak slowly.
Yes, sorry about that. It's the Boston accent. I know you guys are here mostly to see the doctor speak, so I just want to get through the corporate part of this as quick as possible. We started in 1989 as AST Products. We are a surface modification company. We provide the coating for the entire ophthalmic division for injectors. Micro-incision wouldn't be possible without our coating. We started this a long time ago. The biggest IOL company in the world started with us in 2000, and we brought it to market. In 2011, we started iCares Medicus, which is a Taiwan-based IOL manufacturer. They make IOLs and injectors. In 2019, we started, as Juan already said, AST Spain, and we also started Maxis Medicus. Maxis is a China IOL manufacturer for only the Chinese market. It is fully operational, approval in China for IOLs and injectors in the Chinese market only. In 2022, we started with AST Germany as well. AST Germany is straight distribution in Germany only, and we have a few of the representatives here as well. In 2023, we split the company as well. One of the problems we were having at one point was AST Products is a surface modification company to all the IOL companies. And now we're selling IOLs. So we split the company. AST Vision Care is the IOL company. AST Products is still a surface modification company servicing the IOL industry. We also bought our own molding company. We worked with them for years, and we were able to put them underneath our umbrella. All the injectors that you guys use or see in the market, we manufacture at the same time. It's from our company. In 2022 actually. 2022, we also opened AST France. Same idea with Spain. We partnered with a group of good people that are already in the French market, and they're going to be bringing our product directly to the French market. In 2023, we also added Medimix underneath AST Vision Care in Portugal, which they are doing the same as selling direct in Portugal. And as of this year, we now added in MBI. It is a IOL manufacturer that's been around for a considerable amount of time. They manufacture in California. So as of today, we have manufacturing capabilities in the United States, Taiwan, and China, servicing the entire scope of the industry. In 2008, when I started with this company, there was 8 people at AST Products with one company. We are now, in 2024, 350 employees with 10 companies worldwide. We're selling in 24 countries worldwide and increasing. Lens sales have doubled every year since 2021 when we first went to market. I already said we have manufacturing in US, China, and Taiwan. We're the only independent IOL company. We can produce an IOL from start to finish. We do not depend on any other company. Most companies depend on other people for material or coating, us, or any other part that they might OEM it. We keep everything in-house. Everything is done with our own group. It puts us a big advantage above everybody else. That's AST structurally how we stand today. Thank you very much for coming today. We really appreciate it. I'm going to hand it back over to Juan, and he has some more to go. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Matt. So right now we're going to have a panel of surgeons who are going to share their experience with AST as a company and AST Vision Care as a company, and also the products and how it has impacted the life of the patients. So I want to welcome here first our moderator is Dr. Jaime Aramberri. He's the medical director at Clínica Ocular, specializing in cataract and refractive surgery. And he has been a founding member of the executive committee of the IOL Power Club since 2005. And of course, as many of you know, a very strong reference in biometry and IOL calculation. Also, I want to welcome to the stage Dr. Javier Rodriguez, the medical director in Clínica Novaria in Tenerife. Very nice place if you want to spend your vacations. He's specialized in cataract and refractive surgery, and he is one of the first ophthalmologists implanted with our lenses. Please come. Also, I want to welcome Professor Miguel Maldonado. He's the professor at the University of Valladolid. He's the director of IOBA, and he's the head of research group in refractive surgery, visual quality, and visual rehabilitation. Also, our local person here is Dr. Juan Álvarez de Toledo. He's a medical director in Optalvist here in Barcelona, and he's specialized in anterior pole and cataract and refractive surgery, and a strong IOL in cornea. Also, Dr. Luis Fernandez Vega from the Instituto Oftalmológico Fernández Vega. Where's Luis? Ah, yeah. Also a KOL in cornea and in surgery. Doctora Margarita Cabanas, he's the head of ophthalmology at the huge hospital called Virgen del Rocío in Seville, another great city to visit if you want to come. Also, she's a specialist in phaco-refractive and surgery at Liga Baviera. And last but not least, Dr. Mohamed Alal Nasuri. He's a medical expert in cornea and refractive surgery. He's the chief medical officer at Maccabi Hospitals and Centers and a member of the board of directors of the American Academy of Ophthalmology. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to AST for the kind invitation. Thank you very much for the panel, for joining us. And for me, it's a big pleasure to be here and be with such a young company, with such a young set of lenses. If I think about that, I feel really surprised to be trying young lenses when I'm normally a very conservative surgeon, usually using old lenses with a long history, trying to provide my patients with the safest. This normally comes from the point of a long-term history. But with these lenses, there's been a very quick spread of mouth in our community. You know, we go out with friends in the congresses, in the meetings, and you always say, what are you putting this year? What are you implanting? And the last 2 years, everywhere around, I used to hear the Asqelio, the Asqelio, the Asqelio. And you know, when you hear that 5, 6, 10 times, you start thinking, well, there might be something new with this lens. So I am a newcomer to this lens. I've been doing it just for 1 year. I'm doing mainly the Asqelio trifocal, and I have to say that it's been my nicest surprise of this year, because in reality it works, at least for me, for my patients, very, very well, and has overcome other models that I used to implant just 1 year ago. So this is my experience, only 1 year, but I guess that this is probably the experience of most of the experts that you have before you. So, having said this, let's go into the discussion, and I want to ask all of you one by one, how did you arrive at this platform? You know, it's very new, so I'm really curious. How did you arrive at this Asqelio platform? And I have told you that I arrived by the spread of the word of mouth from other colleagues, not from science, not from papers, just because many people told me it's working well, it's really performing optimally, and that's how I did. So, Alain, please tell us, how did you arrive?
Well, actually, I did it because of Abdelkarim, the local distributor in the region. He introduced me to this lens. I was using before other EDOF platforms. Because you know we have mutual trust. I know that he is giving me a good product, so I started very carefully and cautiously. I'm a little bit skeptical person, so I want to measure everything. So when I started doing the Asqelio EDOF, I was doing everything, starting from contrast sensitivity to OSI, aberrometry, eye trace, everything for every patient. It took a long time, but very quickly I got very confident in this lens. And once I got confident in the lens and the results from my patients, I started to offer this lens confidently. So this confidence from the surgeon usually transmits very easily to the patients. And my chair time with the patient for the Asqelio EDOF is very short, because I know that my patients will be very happy.
All right, so we can define you as an Asqelio EDOF lover. That's your IOL, your preferred Asqelio platform model right now.
Than what?
Than, for example, the trifocal.
No, not at all. I'm using Asqelio for patients who, will have a better result with Asqelio if they don't. If some patient is not very keen on not having reading glasses, then Asqelio is the way to go. Because 50% of my patients in a formal clinical trial, 50% of my patients with the Asqelio EDOF are not using reading glasses.
Really?
But I don't promise patients not to have reading glasses, but I know that 50% of them will not use reading glasses. So
Great.
I'm delivering more than I'm offering.
So you underpromise and you get the target.
I know, that puts me in a very strong and confident position. I know that this lens will give me more than what I promised the patient to have.
Great job. So Marga, how did you get there?
For me, it was quite similar. Spanish team of AST bring me the IOL and describe all the benefits that the IOL could have in my patients. So at the beginning, I used to use the trifocal Asqelio, and I had a very good experience. I think that most of the surgeons with the diffractive IOLs we are waiting still for IOLs that allow the patients to have really happy without phenomenal dysphotophic phenomena or another complaints. So maybe because of this, I trust in this project. I read about the material. I talked with some colleagues. Suddenly I started to implant, and my patients were my best feedback for having confidence about this kind of IOLs. After, in the hospital, we are working with the monofocal IOL for more than 2 years, 3 years, I think. And we implant thousands every year, and we have very good results and no surprise. So for me, it's a company that
reliable lens.
Yeah.
Great. Luis, what's your opinion?
So how we started, long story short, it was with a lunch in Oviedo. They presented all the project before implanting the lens. We always analyze it with our own data in Optic Bench, and we like the results, and this is why we started.
Great. Juan.
Well, 2 years ago, I moved and I started working in Optalvist. In Optalvist, they have published 4 papers, because out of 6 papers about Asqelio trifocal, 4 are published by the Optalvist group. I was like you, I was quite conservative about trifocals and so on, but now with this lens, my experience, I have experience like you, 1 year, year and a half, it's very good, because I hate problems with the patients, and this lens really, I do not see many problems. That's what I like it, and also the material. I think the material is the key, comparing with the other lenses.
Well, I wonder if there is any surgeon who loves problems with the patients. So, Miguel, how do you get that?
Okay, my departing point was the concept of biaspheric. That was something new in intraocular lens material, and I wanted to try that in my patients. I tried that, and I found many more aspects that were very appealing. As a surgeon, when you put the lens under the operating microscope, you see an optical transparency that is outperforming any other intraocular lens. Later, the results with patient satisfaction is well over any other trifocal in my hands and in my experience. And also I have developed a laboratory trying to reproduce what a driver encounters in night driving with some distorsiometry, and I compared these lenses with other trifocals, and distorsiometry was well over any other trifocal. So altogether makes, for quite a long time for me, the Asqelio 3 and the Asqelio EDOF to be the #1 lens. I always put my attention first. Only if I don't find the diopters I need for that particular patient, then I think of another platform, but otherwise it's my #1 intraocular lens.
Great, wow. That was a very scientific entrance. Luckily we've got a scientist among us. And Javier, how did you get that?
Well, I started to use it in 2020 due to a conversation with my friend Carlos Palomino. My story is pretty curious because I used till this moment trifocals, but I didn't sleep well with trifocal lenses of other companies. And I just used EDOF lenses because I didn't want problems. But I proved this lens, and when I proved this lens, all changed for me. All the patient says me that is the most important thing they have done in their lives, etc. And I started to use it. Well, I like to study of the optical principles, transformada, Fourier, the constructive interference, the destructive interference, the design of the diffractive anterior or posterior. And the lens I used before, Asqelio trifocal, was a lens with the diffractive design in the posterior side of the IOL. And I saw the similar positive aspects, and I saw the same in this lens, but with trifocal, the trifocal advantages.
All right, good answers. So let's make a turn of questions for each of the panel members. So Alain, I know you are a very well-known and very respected corneal specialist, and I guess you're dealing with many complex corneas when you do cataract surgery. So, are you using in this kind of cases this Asqelio EDOF that you mentioned you like so much, or you reserve it more for regular cases where you just want to offer an extra distance performance over the monofocal? So, I mean, are you using the EDOF more for complex cases or just for regular cases?
Well, how much time do you have today?
10 seconds.
Well, for regular patients, I use more trifocal than EDOF. But for patients with corneal issues, it depends. You know, each patient has an individual scenario. But you know, to make it short, very complex corneal cases like a patient with RK 25 years ago with some corneal scarring, and these patients are usually have bad quality of cornea. These patients usually end in a monofocal lenses, monofocal or monofocal tone. Patients with moderately bad corneas, like patients who had refractive surgery with the old age lasers, the mid-age laser like 25 years ago, these patients usually have bad cornea. So the first question is, can you fix the cornea? If you can fix the cornea and make it better, that's what I do first. And then usually these patients end in an EDOF lens. Patients with relatively good corneas, like patients who had myopic LASIK or hyperopic LASIK for a small error like -2, -3 with the modern laser, usually have a decent cornea. These patients will have more EDOF than toric still, but the majority of these patients can have EDOF lenses. And I was surprised that the clinical outcome of these patients with the EDOF lens, I wouldn't say as good as patients with regular corneas, but much better than what I expected, and much better than what I get with the EDOF patients in these patients with different platforms. The quality of vision with the Asqelio EDOF is really amazing.
Would you remark that feature of this lens as the primary characteristic that you like, the quality of vision?
Yes. I'm not saying the quality of vision with any EDOF lens is better than the monofocal lens. There is always loss of contrast. But with this platform, the loss of contrast that we measure with the objective scatter index after the surgery is minimally affected. So it's always risk-benefit ratio. So if a patient, let's say a patient who is a young patient, perfect cornea, 45 years old, perfect quality of vision, I wouldn't even do a refractive lens exchange for him, because he will never have this excellent quality of vision with any kind of IOL, whether monofocal or anything. But that's why it's very important to know exactly from where the patient starts in terms of quality of vision. This is the main thing for me. I know what kind of, is it for me?
Right. I will answer, sir.
So I know the quality of vision that the Asqelio EDOF gives me after surgery, so I have to measure from where the patient starts. If there is a benefit, or at least the same quality of vision, but with more gain of glass independence, intermediate vision, then EDOF is the way to go.
All right, Marga, I think you're a very interesting profile in this panel, because you put a lot of Asqelio monofocals, and we are all focusing on EDOFs and trifocals because they are sexier than the monofocals. But monofocals still have an important role in our surgeries, and we think it's already done. We've got monofocals for so many years. Who needs a new monofocal? Why do you like the Asqelio monofocal? You are doing lots of them, I know that. Why?
We plant lots of them, not only me. I have a very big team, which is implanting every day monofocal IOLs, Asqelio. So I liked some particularities, but I used to ask my team what are the best things to describe this kind of IOL. So the first thing for me is the absence of surprise with the surgery. We have a very natural material to handle the implant.
Yeah.
You know, the surgeries, most of them, it's a very big hospital with residents and the trainers and lot of kinds of surgeons, but most of them is very good surgeries. The material doesn't work wrong. For a big hospital, it's very important not the decision that you are going to have in just 1 minute. You have to think that every week is going to have a very huge impact in a few years, and not suddenly, no, in this moment.
Yeah.
Yet. Sorry, because my English sometimes is
No worry.
I do that like I like. But so I like that during the time that we have been implanted, we haven't had any change of lens, any strange situation with the IOLs. We have adapted very well the calculate of the biometry, so it's easy for my surgeons to.
Predictability is very good.
The stability is very good, the transparency of the IOL is very good. We don't have anything that we can say. We have a very important trouble, in this case of patients with the IOL. And this, I think, there are some arguments.
Yeah.
And
They are very important.
Very important in a high number of surgeries.
I will pick one of them. Would you say that it's a very easy using IOL? I mean, when you inject it, it just unfolds very gently, and it doesn't give any surprise, and it's very easy to put into the bag, and even if it's turning upside down, it's very easy to rotate whatever. I mean, I would say personally, I feel it's a very easy IOL. Do you think the same?
Yes, it's very easy, but sometimes people notice some difference with another kind of IOLs that they were using before. So the material is a little bit different maybe than other IOLs that they're using. But once you learn, you have completely the stability since the first moment of the surgery. And for implanting the IOL, the company has changed the injector, and nowadays I can say that it is a very good way to do it.
Thank you. Luis, I know that as well as Ala, you love a lot the Years of Asqelio. So I don't implant the Years of Asqelio. Convince me, why should I move to this lens?
You don't?
I don't.
Come and check it.
Why must I? So Luis, what is the argument to move? What did you find as compared to other IOLs, Years of IOLs that you tried before, that convinced you to just stay here and go doing this IOL?
I ask you a question. Do you use other IDOF?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So for me, the IDOF the Asqelio has several advantages against others in the market. First, the material, as we were talking, listening free and very advanced material and with no problems with experience with the monofocal. Second, the platform, great advantage against other IDOF that can give problems in small bags, etc. The third one, the toleration of the residual defect, any astigmatism, any small myopia. If you go to the first myopia in the calculation, tolerates is much better than other lenses. And what you were talking about the monofocal, I was thinking the same about the IDO. It's easy. You know what you are going to expect to have the day after or the week after. You don't have as much as surprises as with other IDOF. And another advantage against other IDOs of the market, much less ALOS overall if we are talking about refractive IDOF. Did I convince you?
You did. I will try at least one. Juan. Well, Juan is one of the highest experts in multifocal IOLs. He's been, yeah, you are. Don't be humble. You've been doing this for many, many years. So your opinion, and that's where I'm going, your opinion is very reliable. So I know now you love the trifocal Asqelio. What did you find in it as compared to your previous trifocal models? And what has made you change from one to the other? I mean, I guess there are many people here not using the Asqelio trifocal, and they always ask us this question: why did you move, and why have you stayed with Asqelio, not going back to the previous models? Why it's better?
As I told you before, I hate problems, and this lens has not given me problems. As Miguel said before, the quality of the material, the transparency of the light, the transmission, the quality of the lens when you see inside the eye of the patient is very, very good compared to other lenses. And probably will be the same in the future because the material is very good. And also the design being the rings in the posterior face of the lens, probably the quality of vision for me and the photic phenomenon is less than other lenses. That's why I'm using these lenses. That's why I have not used too many models of lenses because I want to focus in one, and I've been using one model for a specific time, and I was used to. But now these lenses that I changed a year and a half before, I'm very, very happy with it. My experience is very good. I have no problem. I was quite skeptical at the beginning.
Yeah.
So it was, as it's compared to the Panoptics, it's more or less the same, but I think the combination of the material and the design makes these lenses to be a little bit up compared to the lenses I have tried before.
Do you think that the performance, the clinical performance in near, for example, for newspaper reading, and in intermediate distance, for example, for computer reading, fulfills the patient expectations?
Of course.
Yes.
This lens, I have perfect results in near and intermediate vision. Far vision is usually the problem with the multifocal, you know, the quality of the vision, the waxy vision, the loss of the contrast sensitivity, especially patients complain about far vision.
Yeah.
This lens in near and intermediate vision is perfect.
And what about those complaints in far vision? Are they less than with other platforms?
In my opinion, a little bit less.
A little
I
bit
have
less.
some patients that complain. I have to say the real world, but
You feel that it's
less problem.
less.
Less problem. And probably the quality of the material also is a good combination with a multifocal design. You know, all multifocal designs, they lose contrast sensitivity, all because of
It's part of the
It's
game.
part of the game, yes. But if the material is good and the loss of vision maybe is a little bit less.
Well, I agree completely with your statement. Miguel works for the university in Valladolid, so I will make a little change from performance, material, or types of iOS. What's the support that you find from AST as a company in research and in generating scientific evidence to promote this platform? Do you find ASTs helping on that, or maybe they should?
I think they are
stronger.
I think they are prone to do that, and I hope they will do that later on more strongly. They do provide very good support as long as teaching is concerned, and making the surgeon feel comfortable about what he's implanting. So in that side, they are doing a great job. But I hope from the research part that we can increase our cooperation, and that will be something done for sure. I would like to emphasize what other colleagues were saying before, how surgeon-friendly this platform is. I find in my hands that this IO platform is soft and gentle, and despite having square edges as other intraocular lenses that are competitors, when touching the lens, for example, when you are trying to get out the OVD, the viscodispersive substance underneath the intraocular lens, I never turn a rhexis. Whereas with other platforms that can be, hating happening during surgery. So I emphasize how surgeon-friendly this platform is. Also from the research side of this intraocular lens, we should also emphasize that this intraocular lens has a very high Abbe number, comparing with the best in the market, which means that chromatic dispersion is less than others. And last but not least, this intraocular lens is not only useful for the typical cataract patient with a developed cataract that is yellowish, but also for the patient who is a bit younger. His indication is a bit more refractive. The crystalline lens is transparent or semi-transparent, and because it lacks a yellow filter, the patient doesn't get a unpleasant change in the color palette. Those blue filtering intraocular lenses with yellow tints, if you implant that in the patient with 55 years old, he will complain that the blue colors are not the same as they used to be. With this lens, that doesn't happen. So it's also a superb intraocular lens for the patient who is presbyopic and has not developed a very visually significant cataract.
All right. So now let's move to Javier. Javier, I know you've got some personal experience that you might want to share with us. Go on.
Yes. But I was in the American Academy of Ophthalmology Congress in San Francisco. And I was hypermetropia. I had hypermetropia latent 1.5, and I use it glasses for 1.5 for far vision, and another one for near vision for 3.5. I don't like the progressive glasses. Yeah. And I was in the American Academy and reading. I didn't see well. I put my near glasses. I didn't see well. I put my far glasses over the near glasses. Wow, perfect. Wow, with two glasses. And I saw a girl 5 meters in front of me with a face of serious, like asking me, "Are you ophthalmologist?" yeah, I am ophthalmologist. So in that moment, I decided to take my surgery. I took the decision in that moment. 3 years with patient with this IOL with a very good results. I decided to put Asqelio trifocale inside my eyes. I am very current surgeon, and I try to make up my patient with some bilateral surgery. So I did the same bilateral surgery with a very good results since the first day. I was a bit afraid about these photopsias, but I didn't see these photopsias. Just a bit photophobia the 2 first weeks, photophobia, but disappeared. I can see 1.0, 1.2 far vision, 1.0, 1.0 near vision, and 1.0 intermediate vision. I can see the panel, my clock, all without problem. My life changed, so I'm very happy with the decision.
Just by curiosity, how do you see those lamps in the car? Do you see halos around? No, it's serious. I'm asking seriously. Do you see them?
I don't see halos because the halos occurs in this lens with a powerful point light. Powerful
Very small
point
one.
light. And the halos is not halos like you think in other trifocal lenses with 32, 28 circles. No,